Yeah, noisy critter in the background. Welcome back to my shed. Some of you may have noticed this conglomeration of mess sitting on the bench in the last video, or in another video. It'll probably be the last one, the previous one to this, I think it'll be. But anyway, what it is I managed to acquire a Douglas metal shaper for not a lot of money. A couple little gremlins with it. One being is two mountings are broken on the motor. I'll bring you over so you can have a bit closer look at this. Now you don't need to be looking at me. There we go. So what we've got is we've got this conglomeration of motor, and what's happened, we've got one nice clean brake here, which is the one off this side, and we've got one which is a bit rusty, and obviously it's fatigued. I let go some time ago off that side, so I've got to repair them. Obviously we've got a broken electrical junction here, and in here where this bolt comes through for the guard, don't know if you can see that. Let's bring you around to a slightly better angle. And let's go zoom. Sorry about this, folks. But as you can see, where they've drilled the hole here for the guard, what it's done is it's weakened it to the point where it's broken. Get it? It has, however, had a hard time. Probably not when it was in the education department. It's probably had a hard time since it's left. This adjuster here is all but seized. Problem being is there's a gib plate missing out of here. This is bent. This top part of the shaft's bent. This shaft down here. Actually, we'll just change the shot a little bit. I'll go and grab a crescent, because the crank handle that comes with these to adjust them, to move them, is missing. So what I think's happened is that when they've brought this round, it's collided here, because coincidentally our crossfeed has got plenty of shake in it, plenty of run out in it, and we've got a nice bruise mark here right on the corner. So yeah, I don't know, the machine might have fallen over at some stage, but there appears to be no other damage on the side. That said, that the fatigue mount, the one, the rusty motor mount, just take that through. That was on this side, so maybe it did fall on its side and that got hit at the same time. But the actual shaper itself, when I look at the dovetails, well, because I had to take this off so I could get it in the shed. I couldn't get enough clearance under the door to get it in when it was on the back of the trailer. It's still got all the scraping marks. It's still got scraping marks on it. Yeah, it's in pretty good nick. There's no movement. The clunking you can hear there is a bit of inflate, but there's no vertical movement in it. This appears to be one of the later ones. It appears to have ball bearings in it, steel bearings. The early ones had bronze bushes. The very early ones apparently, or the very early ones had a name cast in up here. This one hasn't. It's got a couple of holes here where you can put a plate on it. Apparently these had a plate on them. This is a Douglas brand shaper, and Douglas ceased making them in 1984. Apparently then they went to Hercus, I think it was. And quite frankly, I don't know if they're doing it now or if anyone's doing it. I just haven't bothered having a look. But there's no damage in the table. Everything looks to be in really good, i.e. as new condition, which you'd expect, apart from those couple of little problems. So I'll have to fix that, have to get the bend out of that. I might end up making a new one. Got to make a gib strip for that, take this out and probably straighten it. I'm not going to paint it up. I'll give it a bit of a clean, but apart from a bit of a lube and put the motor back on it, fix up the motor mounts, put the motor back on it. I don't plan on doing too much with it other than using it. Incidentally, it's classified an 11-inch machine with 10.5 inches of effective stroke. So what we'll do now is we'll take you off the stand and we'll, actually we won't take you off the stand, we'll spin this around. Those that are wondering, it's at PK Douglas. Enfield, New South Wales, Australia. Apparently they sold a lot of these into education departments around Australia. That is your adjustment for your disengagement. At the moment it's disengaged. I can tell because when I look at it, it's sitting up and there's clearance under here. When I rotate it, it drops in and so we've got quite a bit of move. It'll pick up and it drives. So 1 tooth, 2 teeth. Now, if I want a reverse direction, what I do is I turn it 180 degrees, and now what it'll do is it'll jump 2 teeth in the opposite direction and it drives it back the other way. Now, that disengages the drive. If I want to adjust it if I want more teeth. Oops, I don't want that many more. It's just how much you offset this. The more you offset it, the more stroke you get. The less, if you bring it back to centre, then effectively it just sits there and does nothing. Running a stop, or that one might actually be a jog. Apparently these have got a jog switch on them, so you can just jog them. On the control, which we're walking over to have a look at, this is try not to put too much stress on everything here. We've got the TAFE on off with a key to lock it. We've got the start stop, so that's probably your main start stop, and the other one's probably emergency stop and jog. These guards are not particularly special. Certainly they look like they're put on as an afterthought, which wouldn't surprise me, because by the time guards were a conscious thing, you know, guards on machinery, just whoever used to use them, you know, people used to laugh at them, and the first thing they'd do when they get a new piece of machinery was take them off. I'll go back to the stand now. Let me talk about, I'll just flip that over so I can see what you can see. A couple more features on it. Come back, look here, spin it around a bit. Get the light a little bit better. Zoom in a little bit. Yep, you can see. There's a pin that goes in here to index the table to make sure that it's locked. But what it does is it just locks it in that 90-degree horizontal position relative to the slide. If everything's set up right and it's accurate, that's what it's there for. You notice that this side of the table's flat. When we zoom out a bit, the top here has got 3 slots running this way. This side of the table's got 2 slots going that way, so they're at 90 degrees to here. The bottom is also flat, so you've got 2 flat faces with that one's got a screw in it to hold the retaining pin there. You can loosen this off here, and when you loosen that off, what it lets you do is you can take the pin out and you can actually turn the table a couple of degrees, or 10 degrees, whatever, if you wanted to. This there's also T-slots in here which run the whole width, so you can actually take the table splits here. You actually take this front box section off at this point. Interestingly enough, there's a little step there. Actually, there's a step both sides about the same. So came with a couple of T-bolts. These did come with a vise from factory. Obviously the vise has got, I'm missing, is probably doing duty on a drill press somewhere. So yeah, we'll put the door back on the side. Which, there we go, door's on. So what we'll do sometime in the future is I'll strip that down. Have a look at it, try and work out how it's meant to go together, because at the moment it looks like it's wrong. Well, you can't see what I'm pointing at. Alright, let's get on with it. Let's go back to it. What I'll do is I'll strip this down sometime in the future, work out why it's not together correctly, work out what I need to do to fix it. I do know this is bent, because I can see it wobble, and it wobbles quite significantly. So I'll just I'll leave that. But I wouldn't be surprised to find that the screw thread in there is bent without a give in it. It's been used. Yeah, I probably bent it, damaged it, and then oh, it's too hard to do anything with. So yeah, alright, we'll leave you to it. See you next time.